Captain's Log, August 30th, 2014. So, I guess Christmas just keeps coming early, at least if you're me. So, my favorite things keep coming back. Stuff I never thought I'd see ever happen, we've been getting announcements for all year long. First, it was 60s Batman DVDs. Now, we've seen the box art. It's confirmed exactly when that's happening. That's happening. Something I was afraid I'd never get to see happen. Then, announcement of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers reboot. And I don't know if that's going to be any good, but I'm really excited about the potential for that. And now there's a really good chance, and this is the thing I really never thought I'd ever see happen, and I'm probably the most excited person in the world for this, because this is my absolute favorite thing ever. My favorite superhero next to Batman. Patrick Warburton's The Tick might be coming back, guys. Yeah, seriously, what? So we've been seeing all of these revivals for TV shows lately, through mostly Netflix bringing a lot of stuff back, but now Amazon starting to do that too. And Amazon has expressed interest in The Tick, in the live-action series that Fox aired for just a few episodes in 2001. And like so many things back then, Fox didn't know how to market it. They didn't air it in order, which wasn't as big of a deal because it was kind of standalone episodic sort of show, but still it does kind of watch weird. They didn't air it in order. They kept like skipping weeks and stuff. People couldn't keep up with when exactly it was on. It was the same kind of problem Firefly had, and they only aired, I think, 8 of the 9 episodes, and then I think the Terror episode was the only one that didn't get aired, if memory serves. Anyway, I really loved what Barry Sonnenfeld did with that show. It's not as good as the cartoon, at least in my opinion. I'm a huge Tick fan, and I was a cartoon fan first, so I prefer that flavor over the other. But as I've always said, a couple years ago I did a whole Tick month, and I reviewed lots of Tick stuff, and so folks have heard me talk a lot about this character, but I've always said that between the 3 mediums that he's been in, comics and live-action television and animated television, we've had a very kind of distinctly different Tick through all 3, and each one has its own merits. And so the live-action I always thought was kind of like the middle ground between the cartoon and the comic book, where it's not quite as nuts and even quite as adult as the comic is, but it's certainly more adult than the cartoon was. Anyway, so this might happen. Now, this is not a sure done deal yet. The only thing I've seen, by the way, I want to thank Nikki Brugsbank for bringing this to my attention on Facebook. Thanks so much for showing me this, because it looked like somewhat of an obscure article. I don't know just how much faith I can have in this. The article basically just said that Amazon has expressed interest in The Tick. Because it had such a short run, and because, let's face it, Patrick Warburton not doing anything super hugely substantial, he still gets work, but would probably be available to get his own show again. I think this is really likely. I think if a network is coming out, and we can now call places like Amazon and Hulu and Netflix, I think networks, they're just as viable, and I think are becoming almost more viable even than television networks in a lot of ways, because of the way that they can just like make a bunch of episodes, put them out, and they don't have to rely so much on those immediate like weekly returns. We got to hook somebody with that first episode and hope they keep coming back. Now you can just post stuff all at once and see if people are interested enough to binge it. And this is allowing all kinds of things to come back. It's also allowing for lots of new and interesting and original things to happen. People keep calling this like the new golden age of television, and boy, when I hear about stuff like this, I have a hard time disagreeing. I've seen some people, when things like this happen, complain, oh, why are we reviving things? Why not just create new things? Well, both are happening, and I think that's great. But also, we're reviving a lot of stuff that didn't get a fair shake in the first place, and that's just wonderful. And it's even more wonderful for me because now it looks like there's a good chance that one of my very favorite things, The Tick, is going to finally come back. And frankly, I want The Tick back in any form. We don't have comics coming out anymore. I guess the bi-monthly book that was coming out, and yes, I mean bi-monthly, it was only once every 2 months, isn't being published anymore, I don't think. And then, of course, we haven't had it on TV for a long time. Wow, 2001, getting a show possibly revived like 14 years after the fact. That's crazy. That's nearly unheard of. I mean, you know, we've seen revivals before. Naturally, of course, one of the most famous ones, of course, is Star Trek, and but it revived ultimately in movie form, almost a TV show, another TV show, but then it turned into a movie. Never thought I'd see it happen for something this obscure, and I don't know, man. I just like I can't be more excited about it. I wonder what it's gonna be like. I wonder if it's gonna be the exact same cast or not, because everybody's older now. I think it would be kind of difficult for them to just come right back in and act like nothing has changed. I mean, these people are playing. I'm talking about the four superheroes. You know, are playing characters that aren't really supposed to age. They're kind of in a comic book world. And I have said before, I'm not sure that Patrick Warburton isn't too old to play the role now. I've said that before, but the more I think about it, and maybe I'm just saying this because I'm so excited it might happen, but part of the reason I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong about that is because, I mean, he does have like a full face mask over his whole face. No, maybe it would be okay. And frankly, I don't care. You know, even if he looks a little bit older, whatever. I'm just excited to get this thing back, potentially. I'm wondering about Nestor Carbonell. He played Batman well, and I think a lot of people probably haven't made the connection because, again, this was kind of an obscure show, didn't run very long, and I think a lot of people didn't know who Nestor Carbonell was before that. But Nestor Carbonell, I think, really kind of made his big mark in Lost. And he played the mayor in the Nolan Batman movies. Right now, he's in Bates Motel, and I don't know if he'll be able to jump back and forth and be in both shows. And I'm pretty sure Bates Motel is continuing on. Really like him in that show. So anyway, it'll be really interesting to see if they can get him back, and to see if Arthur's the same, and if Captain Liberty's the same, or if they kind of revamp the show a little bit and it's not exactly the same cast. Who knows? I'm really excited to see what happens with it. I hope it happens. I really do. Maybe I should have waited to do a Captain's Log until we knew for sure, but just the very fact that this even is remotely possible really got me giddy, and I couldn't help but turn the camera on and start talking about it. So anyway, everybody, thanks as always for watching. I sure appreciate it. And leave your comments. What do you think? What other shows need to be revived that haven't been revived yet? I know everybody's going to say Firefly. I can't imagine that happening at this point with Whedon doing what he's doing at Marvel, but maybe. That's my other big one. Yeah, we could certainly use more of that because that has such an enormously crazy following and is wonderful and never got enough stuff. So anyway, but think of other things. Leave those in the comments. And thanks always for watching. I am Captain Logan, and this concludes today's Captain's Log.